Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands and today it's the WNR300. Yes, on May 4th, 2015, I sat down with Dan and Dwayne and recorded the very first episode of the WNR. Fast forward 5 years, or 275 weeks, or 1,928 days. 3 co-hosts and 299 episodes, and we've reached 300. Now, we wouldn't have got to this moment if it wasn't for our fantastic listeners and followers. And, of course, with WNR been going for, like I say, 5 years, but there are a lot of changes that are going to happen on the WNR coming up soon. And we're going to get onto that in a little bit. But on the show today, like we say, thanks to our fantastic listeners and the followers, subscribers, and everywhere you listen to us, be it YouTube, iTunes, on Twitter, Facebook, or anywhere else. Today we are going to do Follower's Choice. Every week we give one of you a chance to pick something to watch or discuss on a podcast. On this very special show, we go through your choices. So our very first follow of the week was Trent Wade at Wadeboy1991. And he said, this week of the podcast, I would like to rewatch Kane versus Mankind. So let's go back to Survivor Series 1997, November 9th, and it's the WNR 130.
We are going to walk through the World Wrestling Federation, take each wrestler one by one, and destroy them.
There, double toe slam with ease. And no. A toe slam. Good God!
Look what Kane has done. Dude just failed. Did you see that? Dude just leveled. Well, he didn't level him. He's still on his feet. And now Kane comes down.
On the steel. A toe slam on the steel.
And a dude bouncing off the steel. And look what Kane has done. What you did was you took an innocent kid and you ruined him. And you have left me here to pick up the pieces. So, Kane, I want to make myself clear. I'll fight you anywhere, anytime, anyhow.
Here comes Mankind. Mankind. He's got the call. Mankind, lamentable call. A call there. And he's got a... Oh! Mankind, with a huge piece of metal, just knocked out King. Oh, King's out. My God, he's set up just like his brother. What in the hell will it take to keep this man down? Can any human being stop Kane? What's it gonna take? Kane's a monster.
Who would have thought 20 years later, Kane would still be being portrayed as a monster?
I don't know, is it fair, do you think, that's 20 years after his debut, he's still... Is that how bad WWE is now? They still have to rely on, say, 20 years ago?
All they're effectively doing is putting him over, or a Universal Champion and a Heavyweight Champion, and only to get defeated by a man who's not won anything in the WWE yet.
It would be the equivalent in 1997 of, like, Gorilla Monsoon being the monster coming out, because that's what it was back in 77, you know? And to say that nothing has improved since then, and to have Kane... Don't get me wrong, I like Kane, and especially when they did the monster, but it's too many times now, isn't it, that he comes back and it's just like, oh yeah, he's got different music and he's a monster.
For me, they kind of ruined it when they unmasked him.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I did quite enjoy, like, you know, when the mask was going missing and Kane was, you know, he was kind of flickering between the two. That was good. you know, once he's been put over as a bit of a joke and a bit of a laugh, you know, in the Team Hell No kind of situation.
Yeah, and then the corporate Kane thing was kind of, I thought, the end and the good way to trans stuff he wanted to do as opposed to this. But I mean, well, Kane back in 1997 is a monster. We don't know, you know, obviously one of the first masked men to have a prominent role in the WWF, and he was going through the whole roster, including people like Flash Funk, the Hardys, and everybody else that got in his way. But Mankind didn't care for this. He stuck up for him, didn't he?
Well, yes, you know, he's putting a mandible claw on Paul Bearer, and he's just bent one of them ring tighteners open.
But that's
Kane sits up.
And that's the monster Kane was. The similarities, to say, just like his brother. My God. Well, no one knows what to expect from Kane, but we all know what to expect from Mankind. He's only been in the WWF just over a year, and yet the fans seem to love him at the moment. Of course, this year we've seen Dude Love, Cactus Jack, and Mankind's back for Survivor Series. Well, of course, last year at Survivor Series 1996, it was Mankind versus The Undertaker. So Mankind said he's ready for the challenge of Kane. He said he's going to run through the wall. Well, he's no wall, it's Kane.
So no Canadians in this match?
No, but they cheer when the lights go out. Yeah, lights gone. He's walking through hell, fire and brimstone. The big red machine, Kane, glittering in the fire. Oh, here comes Mankind straight away.
Straight out to meet the big red machine.
Sends Kane into the barricade. Didn't have any effect whatsoever.
And this is Glenn versus Mick.
Oh my God, and Glenn. Kane just sent Mankind back first into the steps. Oh my God, you can hear the impact of the stairs again.
And the match hasn't even started. The lights haven't even come back on yet.
This is the weird thing about Kane during the early days. All his matches were like this. Literally in red light for the majority, yeah. Won't be till February they sorted it out. Kane looking to put away Mankind. And now the bell starts after Kane's fireworks. And Mankind, I don't know if he stands a chance. He can take a lot of punishment, but I wouldn't think that's too good, especially with a man like Kane being able to dish it out. And will their brothers tough as the Undertaker? What we've seen so far, it's not been too bad.
No, he's certainly been coming across as a monster.
Kicked in midsection by Mankind. He's going to fight off every opportunity he gets.
Well, Mankind, you know, he's no easy feat for any wrestler.
There we go. Cactus clothesline.
Sends him and Kane over the top rope, but both men land on their feet.
Oh! Kane hit the clothesline of Mankind. And now Kane's got the stairs.
And just throws him at Mankind's head. Jesus Christ.
Mankind. You crazy bastard. Well, if you say that mask is just silly. I was about to say gets thrown in. Look at Kane. I think Kane might even be bigger than The Undertaker.
He is taller.
Oh, as he steps into the ring. Paul Bearer smirking at ringside, Dan.
He hasn't got a cigarette in his gob, James. He's just got a big smile on his face.
Oh, I think Mankind's got a big dent in his head, but look at him. He's crazy, pulling out his own hair.
And he runs into a big boot from Kane. So do you reckon this is the best version of... Oh, no, it's the Kane, but do you think this is the best version of the Big Red Machine?
Yeah, I think it is. I think this kind of monster, it was on a par to early Undertaker, how destructive he was. And as we'll see, what happened to the Kane character, at this point it really didn't build from this, you know. But I think, yeah, there's other Kanes I liked, don't get me wrong. 2002 Kane, when he could go in the ring, you know, a version of him.
Well, this, you know, he is still quite green, but I think he's just going over as a monster with the heavy strikes, the big boot, you know, and it's a basic offence.
Yeah, and another thing, it's basically as well what we saw with Bill Buchanan earlier. The fact is, this guy Glenn Jacob, been around the WWF, Isaac Yankem and other roles he played, Fake Diesel, waiting for a character to work. WWE waited, then he got Kane, you know, and he made it work, don't get me wrong. But like,
well, yeah, you know, he's stuck with Kane in some retrospects for the next 20 years.
Exactly, and he was 2 years waiting for the right character, didn't think he was going to get it. You know, Glenn Jacobs could have ended up as like a member of the DOA, you know, it all depends.
You know, he could have been the Kerrigan.
Yeah. And Kurgan could have been the Kane in this, you know. So, I mean, it's interesting to see. Maybe Glenn Jacobs built up a friendship. We saw an early match, didn't we, with him and the Undertaker back in '95. So maybe there was something going on there. But it's just weird how a career works. And like you said as well, 2 WWF champions and 2 sure Hall of Famers as well at this time.
Say Kurgan put on the Kane mask. Do you think it would have been as successful as it went on to be?
It's really difficult to say. You know, it could have just been a one-off character for Kane, you know, until the Undertaker came back, defeated him, and then disappeared. I think you got to say Glenn Jacobs, to make the Kane character longevity is credit to him. Whereas Kurgan could have done that. I think it's anybody's guess. You know, it's difficult to think longevity of like Crush. Could that have stayed for longer, and could that have changed? Now, what has changed a little bit is Mankind has got a bit in this match. He sent Kane into the stairs. Now he's got the chair.
Well, he hit him on the head. Kane basically rolled into the ring and he's back to his feet. One man flapjack on the stairs obviously set it up.
And Mankind would have left and right hands.
And a few big boots, but it's not knocking the big red machine off his feet.
Well, he's not been down yet. Maybe now. Oh!
Seated pile driver.
And that is the first time Kane has been down in this match. Maybe, well, there we go. Bang, bang. He's channeling his inner Cactus Jack. And he's looking to hit Mandible Claw, but like you said, the mask isn't big enough.
Well, he's not going to hit it on on Kane. He's going to hit it on Paul Bearer.
My God. And rather than win the match, you go after Paul Bearer, who called him a pebble.
James, you are a pebble.
And Bearer sold it well.
He did indeed, but he needs to turn his attentions back to the big red machine laying in the ring. Who has just sit up, and he's got back to his feet.
Oh my, he's got Mankind by the chest. Oh my God.
And just throws him off the ring apron through the announce table. I don't even think the announcers had much warning to get out of the way.
Oh my God. And everybody was destroyed then. But Kane's not finished yet. Oh yeah, look at the announcers on the floor. Yeah, it might be the French or the Spanish.
Oui.
That is Tito Santana. He's down.
I think he had a Mankind on his legs.
Well, the destruction of Kane. Kane's not through with Mankind yet. Look how many people are at ringside.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they were grabbing Mick Foley as well.
There's got to be some space. Oh.
And a part of the announce table hitting the back of Mankind, sending him over the steps. They're trying to grab him and Kane's just swatting him off.
And now Mankind struggling to get to his feet. Kane's got him. Is he going to choke him out? Oh.
Kind of a low kick. I'm assuming this is like a anything goes match.
I think the referee's playing it off like that, even though he's trying to get him into the ring. But what we've seen, the referee could easily have counted him out.
Disqualified Mankind for the chair shot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe the light is so dim, though, referee can't see it, you know? Or Mankind DDT's Kane on the concrete.
So I was climbing back into the ring.
Well, with the red lights, it's Kane's rules, isn't it? Anything goes.
It's a red light district match.
And what's Mankind going to go for?
Oh! Runs off the ring apron and just drops the elbow onto Kane.
And Kane is in a lot of trouble now. No one's ever brought it to him. And Mankind has. And if you're a Mankind, you just sacrificing your body to take Kane down.
But, you know, we're kind of missing the point that Mankind's beef isn't with Kane.
No.
It's with Bearer.
Oh!
But as I say that, Kane's just done a beautiful vertical leap from the wafer-thin mats up to the ring apron, grabbed Foley off the ring edge and just thrown him onto the wafer-thin mats and partially onto the concrete below.
My God, that was brilliant by Kane then.
That was very impressive by the red machine.
I saw your face when he did it. You were like, oh, shit.
I didn't expect that. That was like a Brock Lesnar leap up to the side of the ring apron.
He takes his mask off and he F5s him. He's like, I'm Brock, time travel Brock.
But Mick Foley, or Mankind to his credit, is climbing back into the ring.
And now Kane's got that look like a dog who just heard a weird noise going, what's going on? I thought I just stopped him.
But Mankind said, you know, he's going to keep throwing himself at that wall.
Oh, and Kane staring straight at Mankind. He's got him up. Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Kane's got him. Oh!
Tombstone hasn't learned the static camera position yet because he's got his back to it.
But Kane there, Tombstone, just like his brother, staring into the eyes of Mankind, gets the victory.
And a very impressive victory from Kane. I mean, he's certainly come over as a monster, especially against a competitor with, you know, the craziness of Mankind.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Kane looked brilliant in that match, and Mankind lost nothing at all because, like you said, he kept going and going, and he could have maybe even got the victory had he not wanted to hurt Paul Bearer, and that's what it was all about. But
he hit the seated pile driver on Kane, but it was the big red machine eventually getting the victory in this match.
And Paul Bearer said that Kane will continue his path of destruction until he gets the Undertaker. And if there's anything like we saw in that match, it will be incredible. Of course, let's not forget, that was Kane's in-ring debut. And Kane and Mankind also faced off in the Hell in a Cell match on Monday Night Raw, which was very enjoyable. But not many high-profile matches between just those two guys. But thank you very much, Trent. Our next one is Brandon R. Scans at Brandon's, and he says he wants Goldberg versus DDP at Halloween Havoc, the match DDP should have won. Now, of course, we know that this match wasn't seen by many on the pay-per-view at the time due to timing error. Of course, everybody got to watch the Hogan Warrior match. But let's go now to our Halloween special of 2018, October 25th, Halloween Havoc. Will this be a good one? We hope so. And we're going to go ringside to Michael Buffer.
Self-high five.
So as Michael Buffer gives the instructions, we're waiting for DDP, who of course earned this opportunity last month at the pay-per-view we watched, Full Brawl 97, winning the War Games match against Team NWO and NWO Wolfpack. Will Goldberg feel there?
Bang.
He's the people's champion.
He's the champion's people.
He's going on a commentary table and the fireworks are going off as well. He is pumped for this one. Biggest match of DDP's life. He's actually going through the people. Well, DDP is out here.
Shh.
He's ready for action. And here comes the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He wasn't at the last pay-per-view, but he's here now.
The diamond versus the gold.
Oh, you see the security there outside his door.
They're not for Goldberg's protection though, James.
No?
They're for everyone else's.
Oh my God, and here he comes. Your favourite entrance of all time?
I'll have a go.
Well, the MGM Grand for this match.
Goldberg may have the big belt, but Alex Wright's got the big dong.
Oh, I love it that you even think about Alex Wright. Even while Goldberg is coming out here. The big, bald-headed monster plus Goldberg. That's what we're talking about at Halloween Havoc.
What was your favourite part of this pay-per-view? Alex Wright's big dick.
Goldberg comes out, though, ready for action.
Walks past Alex Wright's helmet. Still walking past Alex Wright's helmet.
And a great response here. Unfortunately, a number of homes Halloween Havoc were cut out. We won't be able to see the end of this, but we will be with you right into the beep. No, I'm joking. We're here.
We're here.
The fireworks go off. Oh, it doesn't get more intense than Goldberg. The undefeated World Heavyweight Champion.
Out of this whole card, who was the last one to win a heavyweight championship?
Oh my God, bell rings. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Bell rings, and here we go. It's DDP and Goldberg.
Spear jackhammer over.
No, this is going to be a war between the two, each man facing off. We heard about the rumours about Dusty Rhodes, baby, wanting to change the finish. Some people weren't even seeing it, but here we go. Colin Elwood tie-up.
So when did it cut out?
The level of excitement, about now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It went over the 3-hour mark, and they didn't tell the company that it might run over a little bit, so the feed just cut. Guys refund to people who said they didn't get it, and then re-showed it on Nitro. And coincidentally, it was the last time Nitro actually won the ratings war. Yeah.
Andre takedown by DDP, but Goldberg bounces straight back up.
Oh.
And both men tussle through the ring ropes to the wafer-thin mats below. The referee trying to get between them and separate them.
Well, DDP's going to try and use the experience, but Goldberg, just so powerful and intense. DDP wants to slow this one down. See if Goldberg can go the distance. I think the fans firmly behind Goldberg at this moment.
God.
Oh, my God. Well, DDP tried to take Goldberg down. He did a full flip, landed on his feet, got taken down again.
Look, getting bounced straight back up.
And not down for too long. Now he's got hold of DDP.
F you.
Now he's got the arm. DDP's in trouble. If someone managed to get to the rope, has to break the submission.
Jawbreaker by DDP though. Rocks Goldberg. Follows that with a big elbow. Oh, shoulder breakers and looking for the diamond cutter. Goldberg just shoves him off to the outside.
Well, Goldberg knows how dangerous that move is, and I bet he's not even sure he'd get a shoulder off after being hit by that. Now Page taking his time to get back in. It's good strategy right now. Jumps over. Collar elbow top again.
Got a hammerlock in. He's just working on DDP's arm as DDP rolls through. Breaks it. Oh. Drop toe hold. Drops Goldberg to the mat.
Very nice by Page there. Out wrestling Goldberg, but Goldberg using his power.
Shoulder blocks Page through the barrier. Straight in front of that little man.
Goldberg being caught by Page. Hung up on that top rope.
Swinging neck breaker by DDP. He knows which part of the body to work over on Goldberg. Softening him up for that diamond cutter.
An Irish whip and then reverse Goldberg into the turnbuckle.
Side Russian leg sweep. Floats over for a cover. 2. Oh, but Goldberg kicking out.
DDP doing really well. Keeping on Bill Goldberg here. Make sure he can't have a constant offense. We'll see if Goldberg can actually hang with this.
Front face lock.
Well, you're not going to beat Goldberg like this, but you're going to wear him down. That's exactly what Page is doing.
Soften up his neck for the diamond cutter. Every little helps. Let's go.
Goldberg slowly getting to his feet. DDP with the knees.
But Goldberg fighting back with a swinging neck breaker of his own.
And that was so impressive by Goldberg getting out of that.
Goldberg going for simple and effective. Big forearms to the jaw. Ducking what DDP has to offer.
Page comes running in, but Goldberg catches him.
Oh, it's like a variation of a suplex.
Well, so much power, he just takes him over with ease. Can hook him any way he wants. And now an Irish whip. Picking him up.
Sidewalk slam. Goes for a cover.
Oh.
Page kicking out.
Bit of a strange cover there by Goldberg, but maybe he thought that would help. Oh my God, rolls over, now he's got the arm. Page is away from the ropes. So finally, Goldberg Irish whipping, trying the side. Oh my God, DDP turns it into Hurricane Runner, takes Goldberg down.
Super kick to the chest. Goldberg charges towards DDP, who lifts his legs up. Goldberg hits the ring post.
My God, Bill was so quick there, but got caught out.
He must have separated his shoulder on the impact.
I think the ring moved. Goldberg trying to get back in, and his arm's seriously hurting him now. I think Page realises that. Oh!
Page flying off the top rope, taking Goldberg out, goes for a cover.
Oh!
Only getting a 2 count.
2. And Page now working away, stomping at Goldberg. DDP Irish whip to Goldberg, who reverses. And, gets caught in a DDT. And Page might have got a moment.
Page up. He wants Goldberg to feel the bang.
Oh!
No, he gets speared instead.
Well, Goldberg with one arm managing to run through DDP.
Can't capitalise on it and lift him up for the jackety hammery.
Well, not yet. But DDP's no way near getting up.
He's been folded in half.
Well, no ref bumps, no outside interference, just two men wanting to beat the other for the grandest prize in WCW. It kind of working well. And Goldberg now looking to finish this off. What happens after the spear, Dan?
Well, James.
Oh.
He attempts to jack him up, but he can't quite because his shoulder's probably been separated.
And now Goldberg's going to try again. There we go, but Page turns it round.
Bang! Diamond car.
Diamond car, Goldberg's out. If Page can get across. Why would Page be upset that Goldberg kicked out a diamond cutter when he waited like 20 seconds? You know, it's not like a pedigree, is it?
No.
And DDP going over to Goldberg. This could be it.
One,
2. Oh. Goldberg
kicking
kicks out. DDP cannot believe it. He's going to pick him up. No, Goldberg though, Dan.
Jacks him up. Hammers him down. 1, 2, 3.
Goldberg retains in an excellent match, I will say.
Yeah.
Made Goldberg look brilliant. Made look good as well. For it's quite a short match, but high impact as it was. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, even after what you said before the match about DDP carrying Goldberg for a majority of this match. Well, Goldberg saying that he got carried by DDP for a majority of this match. It makes sense, as this is probably one of Goldberg's best ever matches, and it shows that both men worked well. Goldberg had to break a big sweat, and yeah,
exactly. And like you say, Goldberg was put through his paces, and now he's got Paige in the corner, and that's a nice sign of respect between the two. Goldberg picking him up, saying, "I got respect for you."
And these are two WCW guys.
And it gives you hope for a future, maybe, if the WWE are going to keep doing this. Maybe it can work.
Oh, it's hoping a diamond cutter.
Well, no, just respect as Page goes out. And Goldberg is your World Heavyweight Champion. And he's going to be champ come Starrcade.
But would you say that's the closest Goldberg's come to be defeated?
I think it is. I think it is the closest anybody's come. Has been DDP. He played it right, but unfortunately just come up short. And I think that's a really underrated match there. I mean, these two guys definitely have chemistry. And I think the question is, of course, let's not forget Starrcade, Nash went on to defeat Goldberg. The question is, would it have helped more with DDP and the Diamond Cutter if he had got the job done at Halloween Havoc? I mean, that's a question definitely that should be asked. Our next one is Mike Wachowski at Kid Wilkes. He says, "Hey guys, thank you for the shout out. If anything for discussion on the podcast, I'm interested to know your stance on pay-per-views. Myself, I would enjoy the 2 Saudi shows, 2 women pay-per-views, the Big 4, Money in the Bank, 3 brand exclusive pay-per-view per shows, Raw and SmackDown, and of course the 5 takeovers for NXT. The dual brand pay-per-views become stale, and diversity makes for excitement. Thank you again. Hope all's well, and you're staying safe." We are staying safe, Mike. Hope you are as well. But it's an interesting, don't get me wrong, I think there is a big 5 now with, of course, Rumble, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam and Survivor Series. But personally, I've always been a fan of King of the Ring. And I think a King of the Ring, especially if you've got the brand split, definitely makes sense because you can have 8 guys or 16 guys from Raw, 16 from SmackDown, and then the winner will get a WWE title shot. I mean, if it's held in June, you can get a WWE title opportunity at SummerSlam and kind of be like a Royal Rumble in that way. Shows, I mean, my interest has waned on them really in recent times. I mean, I could do without them, but I know it's going to happen. And in that case, I think it's a great idea to have 2 women's pay-per-view counterbalance that as well. My main problem is pay-per-views only being a couple of weeks apart. And with the news that maybe Payback's going to be a week after SummerSlam, I just think it's too much too soon. And to be spaced out and to give yourself a proper run, I think makes sense. So to have like a Raw and SmackDown show or pay-per-view would work. But I think the problem is with Raw, it's already 3 hours, so a pay-per-view in itself would just be the same as that. And what could they really bring to the table? My feeling is that they should, I know they do it for the network, but these pay-per-views are really not worth the kind of paper they're written on, and I don't think many people will either watch these events or catch them. I think if you look at Extreme Rules, with the amount of endings that they had there as well, and even recent times, I think people were just really interested in the Big 5. So maybe just space them out. I know you don't do that, but in an ideal world, you would probably have your Big 5 events and then takeovers every other month to make up for that, and then your Saudi show, and of course your women's pay-per-view. But that's an excellent, like we said, we asked if you want to listen or anything to say, and Mike, you have hit it out of the park with that one. Alright, so Jim, or Captain Awesome _JWL says, "Thank you, that's really cool. There's nothing I can think of at the moment, as I'm sure you're aware, with little chaos going on. So there's something you could say, or a match that could highlight people come together or show an understanding, or something that would be great. So I'm just a little off right now with everything happening. Thank you again. I'm glad I came across you guys because I'm enjoying what you guys put out, and without a doubt, we Jim. Really appreciate that. And like I said, it's been a horrible time in America. I mean, 2020 has not only kind of ripped the world apart, and in a surprising way as well, kind of the way the WNR has had to go around things. It's just a kind of moment after moment, terrible. And we've seen it recently with the explosion as well. It's just like there seems to be like a kind of major news story every couple of weeks, and especially things going on in America, it's easy to kind of forget that and not move on, but kind of push to the side. And I think it still needs to kind of be said with all this talk, and of course with the election coming up, things are going to be bubbling up as well. But at this moment in time, you've got to kind of look at the perspective of there's a massive pandemic going on. You have to kind of stay safe with that first and foremost, and then we can kind of still fight the problems as well, whilst trying to do it at the same time. It's a difficult balancing act. But we talk about people coming together and to say something like that, and this is what the WNR do. We try and introduce all different people, all different opinions. Just because we might not agree with your opinion doesn't mean it's necessarily wrong, because like I said, everybody has one. And I think that's what the interesting thing is, as we've seen with Dwayne and Jad and Dan, how different of opinions that they were, and it's kind of counteracting that with what we got. And I think there's one moment in professional wrestling history for me that everything came together, and that was September 13th, 2001, and the addition of SmackDown, available on the WWE Network. I mean, in the wake of the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001, the superstars of WWE come together to perform one of the most memorable editions of SmackDown. And opening with Mr. McMahon as well is kind of something that will be remembered forever.
Tonight, the spirit of America lives here in Houston, Texas. On behalf of everyone here in the arena and a worldwide television audience, we would like to extend our condolences to the victims and the families and friends of the victims of the terrorist acts that occurred on Tuesday in New York City and Washington, D.C. Our nation's leaders have encouraged us to return to living our lives the way we normally do. Our nation's leaders have encouraged us to continue to live our lives the American way. They've encouraged us to practice and exercise our constitutional rights. And as such, tonight I believe this is the first public assembly of its size since the tragedy of Tuesday. Make no mistake about what, and make no mistake about the message this public assembly is sending to terrorism tonight. And that message, quite simply, is that we will not live our lives in fear. The citizens of Houston are not afraid. The citizens of Texas are indeed not afraid. And by God, the citizens of the United States are not afraid. For we are a proud people, proud of who we are, proud of our nation, and damn proud to be Americans. And we will fight. We will fight for our families. We will fight for our rights. and we will fight for our great nation. America's heart has been wounded, but her spirit shines as a beacon of freedom that never has been nor ever will be extinguished. The World Wrestling Federation would like to thank each and every one of you here in the Compact Center tonight. The World Wrestling Federation would like to thank each and every one of you watching on television. We would like to thank you for the honor and privilege of performing before you here tonight.
And what a powerful moment there, and it's showing that everybody can come together against a cause. And I think especially now everybody needs to understand that there's a bigger threat, and if we can all come together in support, you know, we are all the same. It doesn't matter what we look like, and I think that is the important message there. And we'd just like to thank Jim for messaging in. Okay, next one, Ashutosh Dubey at Nun-Winged Angel. So thank you so much. Can you review the Mania 25 HBK versus Taker match? What are your thoughts about it? Well, in my mind, there is no doubt that this is the greatest WWE match in history. And yes, I know people are going to say, you know, you've got Brett versus Austin at WrestleMania. You've got so many other great choices. But I feel this one is just, it encapsulates everything that is right about professional wrestling. When we talk about the story and the entrances with Michaels coming down from the heavens, the Undertaker rising up through hell, and of course just the battle, and each man giving everything that they had to try and get the win. And of course this set off a chain of events as well that would lead over 4 WrestleManias with the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels with Triple H interacting, and it was perfect storytelling. So right now we're going to go back to April 5th, the WNR 44, and it's Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
I am no longer Shawn Michaels, Employee of the Month. You are looking at the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the headliner, the showstopper, a main event. But as I stand here today, looking at my life, seeing WrestleMania on the horizon, I realize I am living heaven on earth. If there's anybody that ought to face The Undertaker at the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania, sweet chin music, you're looking at him. Shawn Michaels. Sometimes it is hell trying to get into heaven. 16-0 at WrestleMania. A feat so extraordinary, no one could ever think of replicating it.
A phenom, a man who's never lost at WrestleMania. Oh, on earth, and you're gonna stop this guy. Pile driver.
Undertaker's streak continues. You may be 16-0 at WrestleMania, but I am Mr. WrestleMania.
I don't think I've ever seen a better big match wrestler than Shawn Michaels.
The man who revolutionized the ladder match. Oh! I'm the man that wrestled for over an hour and walked out champion.
Shawn Michaels somehow.
I have never been outperformed on the grandest stage of them all.
My God, can you believe this man?
And I never will.
He is Mr. WrestleMania.
I respect The Undertaker, but I am not afraid of The Undertaker. Shawn Michaels, the time for prayer has just begun. In the beginning, darkness. looked across the face of the deep, and God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light and that it was good. He divided the light from the darkness. He called the light day and the darkness night. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I have victory over death, hell, and the grave. Undertaker, I have eternal life. It was you who opened the gates to hell. Shawn Michaels, you will realize that I am the most dangerous entity that has ever stepped foot in this ring. The Undertaker strikes fear in the hearts of all of his opponents, yet here I stand unafraid. Now you say you're not afraid of me, but for 16 WrestleManias they have come, and for 16 WrestleManias they have fallen. Good things must come to an end at WrestleMania 25. Undefeated streak, you will rest in peace. Sometimes it is hell trying to get to heaven.
What a fucking build-up.
That was a build-up and a half, wasn't it, really?
The whole match in itself.
Michaels and Undertaker, April 5th, 2009, WrestleMania 25. Fan picked as well by... lots of people went for this. Match. And Kenyon Jackson, you're the lucky guy. So that's what we'll say who's responsible for this. But this is probably my favourite WrestleMania match of all time anyway. So talk about build-up, talk about entrances as well. And these are the two greatest entrances in WrestleMania.
Simple entrances, but just so awe-inspiring.
Yeah, the spectacle of it. Michael's coming from, heaven dressed in white. When I first saw this, I thought, fucking Undertaker's wearing white. And then I realised it was Michael.
Oh, it's Shawn.
Yeah, it's Shawn. Of course, when we watched this live, Jad, you remember watching this live with me, didn't you?
Yes, I do.
We watched the whole card up until this match, and you fell asleep. And then you woke up for the Randy Orton Triple H main event, didn't you?
Which was shit.
Which was awful. Probably one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history. But this was a match that stole the show. And you missed it first time round. But you get it all in. You see the promo to it, you see the entrances now. And the match itself. What about that for WrestleMania entrance, Joe?
Shawn Michaels. Well,
Well, he had a couple of spectacular WrestleMania entrances, I suppose. WrestleMania 12, didn't he? He slid along the wire. But yeah, WrestleMania 25. Shawn's coming towards the end of his career, as we know. Well, thanks to The Undertaker as well. But this is just, it's like the Angle Michaels match you watched earlier. It's just top class.
Well, I will tell you, you've said a lot about it. You've always raved about this match.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to it, because I fell asleep so many years ago.
7 years now. So where does time go?
Imagine actually being there at that point.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be fucking mental.
Especially at WrestleMania where it meant the most to him, do you know what I mean? Look at that, rising from hell, The Undertaker. Absolutely iconic, isn't it? Who'd you like better, Jared, Undertaker or Michaels?
Undertaker.
Undertaker! Why?
Just a dead man. He's been there from basically the beginning of when it actually started changing.
Michaels was there at that time though as well. What was it about The Undertaker you like more than...
I think I remember more of The Undertaker than I do Michaels as growing up, or obviously the dead man would always be favourite as a kid.
Yeah.
And then Michaels, he's more of a older person's, the older fans would like him more.
Oh,
you know what I
right.
mean? You'd understand him more as an older fan.
Right.
I did anyway.
Yeah. You respect the wrestling more when you get older and stuff like that, you mean, as opposed
you
to just
understand it.
the character of The Undertaker easier to get if you're 2 years old, if you're 82 years old. Dan, who do you like better? I know it's a judgment call, but Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, who are you picking?
If you're saying WrestleMania,
I'll have to say the Undertaker, but if you're saying overall, I'll have to say HBK.
Oh, so you say Michaels?
Yeah.
What is it about Michaels you think just makes him, in your mind, better than Undertaker?
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam champion.
And he's always, you know, I don't know, he's just offered more, he's been in more, he's done more,
Yeah.
you know.
But say you pick the Undertaker at WrestleMania, he is going against Mr. WrestleMania, you know, that is Michaels as well. So.
I know, but he's famed for putting on a spectacular show at WrestleMania, but he's not famed for winning.
Oh, see, yeah, fair point. As we saw in the Angle match as well with him tapping out. I'll have to go with, I probably like Undertaker more than Michaels. Like Jazz said, a bit of the child when I was a kid, you know, Undertaker was my favourite. But even later on, just the longevity of the Undertaker now. You know, it's just been going at it for so long. I don't know when he's going to stop, if he does stop, you know, how he carries on doing it year after year.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look happy tonight. Bell rings, Undertaker, Michael squaring off. Of course, Jad, you missed all of this, didn't you? So it's nice that you're going to see all of it.
Was this the build-up that HBK went through everything to try and get a title shot with the Undertaker?
No,
or was it the next?
That was the following year, yeah. He'd been, he wanted revenge, basically, yeah, Michaels did. Oh my word. And we started off a bit cagey, bit Undertaker through Michaels over the top rope already. This will be speed versus power.
Oh,
But Michaels might have hurt himself. No, he didn't.
laughing. Classic HBK style.
And the lulling Undertaker in. Straight away, we know Michaels needs to go on the attack.
Undertaker's like, just get off me.
Get off me.
alone.
Undertaker just throws Michael in the corner. And we talked about Undertaker's striking abilities and the punch is spot on there. Undertaker showing the strength, really pressing Michaels down. Undertaker elbow, Michaels kicked out. You're not going to get Michaels down that easy.
Angle showed that.
Yeah, exactly. We know what Michaels has got in his locker. Do you like the chaps look more than the tights, Michaels? What do you think suits him more?
The chaps.
Jad, are you a tights or chaps man?
I'll have a chats.
Chaps.
I'm a chaps man.
And look at the height the Undertaker got on that old school. Don't forget how agile he is.
Still is.
Went for the big bootleg, Michaels moved out of the way. And that would do your hand some trouble. Michaels knows, take the legs out, take the big man down.
Chopping a tree down.
Chop it.
Take away the legs, take away Undertaker's game.
You do. Chokeslam tombstone, can't do that on his knees, can he? Michael kicked him to the face. You see blood already from Undertaker.
Going for the figure four already.
Michaels looks to get
Sharpshooter.
early submission. I looked like he was going for a sharpshooter at figure four.
I look like an inverted figure four, I think.
Well, Undertaker's not used to tapping out, but Michael's just going to wear the dead man down.
Take away his legs. Clever strategy from Michaels.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Michael's going to get in there, work down the legs he knows. It's going to be a long match anyway, you know, Undertaker. Maybe conserve some of Michael's energy as well in the process.
What'd your strategy be, Jared?
It'd obviously be the legs, break him down so he can't walk. Give him a Jared Swanton bomb.
Oh, if you were Shawn Michaels.
And Michaels, you've got to keep up the pace, I reckon. Keep up the pace, let the Undertaker hang with you, tire him out a little bit. Just keep going, you know. Look, work on the legs and stuff, but don't try and slow it, because the Undertaker probably a bit more methodical than Michaels is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Michaels kind of want to keep it quick, keep it
He
going.
wants to get into the outside and he wants to drop a couple of moonsaults on him.
Yeah.
Through that announce table. Back in the ring. Feature music out of nowhere.
And Undertaker with a leg drop and a slam.
Oh, he's going for a choke slam. Oh, no. Down into a crossface.
Well, Michael's got it in tight like a tiger. Yeah, the Undertaker looking, like I said, to look at the choke slam, but got caught. And Undertaker managed to power out of it with a slam. It looked like Undertaker showed a little bit of panic there, making sure he can get out of submission.
Shawn Michaels has got a big heart.
He has, he's got a huge heart. And educated feet.
Very educated.
Yeah.
Executes a chop like the late great Ric Flair.
He Ric Flair, his career maybe, but he's not dead yet. And Michaels, with the patted at Michaels' clothesline, what's he going to do now?
Has he got enough left in to do that? Nip up.
And he has.
What about Undertaker? Will he sit up?
No, look at Undertaker taking punishment. Not really a proper sit-up. And Michaels fighting back now, atomic drop and the chops. And now another flying clothesline. But this time just want to nip up. You know, Undertaker's still down, Michaels going to the top rope.
Patented elbow drop.
We shall see. And Undertaker sits up.
Shawn's been caught.
Caught round the throat. Chokeslam.
Oh, lucky escape. Switching music to the belly.
Oh, Undertaker dodged it, but he got caught. Well, nearly got caught in the figure 4.
Gets out. Hell's Gate.
He's got Hell's Gate, and this could be it. No, managed there. Started panicking there, didn't he?
He was. Is this the first time you've watched it since then? Is it really? Fuck!
He's never seen this match. He's never seen the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
Shit,
Even though I
Jared.
watches WrestleMania.
You've said no wrestling.
He watched the entire Mania event apart from this match.
Well, his class is probably one of the greatest WrestleMania matches ever.
Yeah, he did a Jarrett. Sean's being the aggressor at the moment.
He likes taking a risk or three.
He did say go outside moonsault him and look at WrestleMania sign in the background. Michaels.
Oh! Moves out of the way and swats him to the ground.
No, yeah.
Ouch.
Michaels just flat.
Game changer.
Undertaker getting his breath back.
He just wipes him out.
And that was a big bump. Maybe not as big as WrestleMania 16, but...
Oh,
Alright, fair play where he landed. Undertaker's gone back in the ring, taking a lay down.
he's been through a lot with Sean.
It's been a vicious match like you were saying, Jad, hasn't it?
That's what it's all about. Just no blood.
So, no.
No, but the Undertaker sits up, and Sean could be in serious trouble now. Michael's on the outside with the ref. What's Undertaker going to do?
Surely the Undertaker ain't gonna.
Well, he's getting on the ears, but is he going to still
He's got
fly?
that look in his eye.
Oh, fucking hell. You see that?
Shit! Did you see the way Undertaker fucking landed?
It's on his head.
He
Top of his
landed
head.
right on the back of his head. That is one of the most brutal bumps I've seen.
Well, we saw the botch earlier with Lesnar, and I think that is as bad.
I think Lesnar's was slightly worse.
Well,
Not as bad.
but look, you can see the lump where he landed. You can see the mark.
You see that landing?
Yeah.
It don't get any prettier.
Like a jackass.
Fuck! That, it just looks like he's going vertically down
No,
from the angle inside the
yeah,
ring.
Well, that could be it for the Undertaker.
That's a fucking game changer.
Michael's back in the ring.
The most Christian thing I've ever seen though, saving a referee. He's like, I don't want you to take this.
Yeah, but he
I want the
pushed it-
cameraman
Yeah,
to.
exactly, yeah. Cameraman.
Yeah, but he knows referees get a load of shit. Cameramen, what? 1 or 2, 3 injuries maybe over wrestling. I've seen fucking referees get beaten.
Nah, that's true, yeah. And Michael's making sure the referees are right.
You are bad.
Well, he get referee back. Well, count out.
Really, Michaels? This way?
What about if the streak had ended on a count out?
Victory's a victory.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll beat him.
It's a bit low for Michaels though.
Cameraman wasn't in position, was he, to catch him?
No.
Well, Colin Michaels was full.
He had a
but-
camera in his hands as well, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been part of the problem. Michael's trying to get the referee out.
You got a can? Show me the way, baby.
I think the good thing about Michaels as well is that it's so, I know it's going to sound silly, so visual. We've seen him and we know exactly what the rest, or what he's thinking in the ring, and he portrays it as such, you know? It's like, you get a referee and he says, right, you can't, the way he's like, so everybody in the stadium can see exactly what he's doing, you know? It is brilliant. Michaels is fantastic.
That's what makes him what he is though. It's, you know, that
He's just,
he wants that count to go.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, ref.
He's
He's even
desperate.
praying for it.
He's like nearly there.
And he's any means necessary.
7 now. And Undertaker might not get back in the ring. 9. Michaels.
See, even the dismay of him getting in at 10. He's like, I thought I had it.
He's like, no, so upset. But Undertaker managed to get back in.
I think that's all he can manage to do.
Well, the Undertaker's been out of it now for the past few minutes. Well, that landing's going to take him out, isn't it? To be fair.
God, that'll take him under.
Well, look at Michaels now, the sneer in his eyes. We haven't seen that look in a long time. He knows what he has to do to put the dead man down.
I don't think he does.
Well, Undertaker can't even get to his feet.
He's not been hit with a sweet chin music yet, though.
Undertaker, fucking hell.
Beast mode.
Choke slam, and the height on that.
Chat shit, get slammed.
Oh, no.
Quite a vigorous kick out from Sean.
But Undertaker, he shocked himself. The air time on that, Michaels could have dunked the basketball. Undertaker went for the tombstone.
Oh, gets caught again.
Yeah, catches sweet chin, but Michaels.
Oh,
Bang.
lands that one.
Gangster one.
This is what, 4th attempt?
It is, and he finally hits it. Can Michaels get the pin? Michaels got the cover. 1, 2,
Oh!
Look at the transition there. Chokeslam, bang, sweet chin.
Attempt, blocked, chokeslammed, blocked, chin, didn't block, in, kicked out.
Taker managing to kick out. And Michaels now, has he got the energy?
Can he get the nip up?
And he's definitely got... I think he's even got more of a spring in the step than he did against Angle, to be fair.
It's just that ankle look, he's never getting out of that.
No, he was caught there, but he might have Undertaker's number. Uh-oh.
The Undertaker's not down and out yet, son.
Michaels caught by the throat.
I thought he was going to stun him when he keeps going to come in. Come on, Taker.
Last ride. No, Michaels.
Slides down the back.
He's alright.
No
he's not.
chance, mate.
Picked up again. He's
Right.
like, yeah, this time. And Michaels' height.
Oh, the elevation of it.
And surely that will be enough. No.
Don't call me Shirley, and that wasn't enough.
The fans going absolutely fucking mental. And what's left for these two men to do to each other?
Unless he's holding someone's hand, he don't go up on the top.
Exactly, we don't see Undertaker very rarely. And what's he going to go for? 360?
Oh!
Elbow drop. Michael's managing to move, but both men down, trying to fight to get to their feet. And Michael's thrown over the top, but skinning the cat.
Not today.
Well, Undertaker catches him. Well, he's caught him in a tombstone.
Oh, shit.
Michael's in
That's
trouble.
unfortunate.
And there it is, tombstone pile driver.
All over now.
1, 2.
You having a laugh? Look at the Taker's face.
He can't believe Michaels would kick out the tombstone. And I know in later years at Mania, people usually kicked out the tombstone, but at this point, this was like the first one. Undertaker can't believe I can get the job done.
Me too.
Me free.
And Undertaker now, come on Undertaker, what are you going to do? Another tombstone? Hell's Gate maybe?
Choke slam, last ride. Straps down.
Well, we don't see straps down that often. And the dead man signalling for the tombstone pile driver.
He's going to put a bit more stank on it. HBK's not even moving.
He is out of it at the moment. Undertaker trying to pick up his limp body.
Oh!
Tombstone, ooh.
Well, in DDT then.
Michaels, act of desperation. Sure, Michaels looked like he was over and done with. And Michaels going to go to the top if he can get there.
Dragging himself to the top. He wants that big elbow so much.
Well, Michaels knows that he has to put the big moves to take the Undertaker out. And the heart of a champion, sure, Michaels definitely has. But can he beat the Undertaker? Ooh.
I like that.
Michaels,
Lands it. Undertaker's helpless.
Sean hits the elbow, but that might just be the last thing his body was able to do. Right, pulls himself up.
Drags himself up.
The fans can't believe the punishment each man has put each other through. And Sean now looking to get the job done.
Tune up that band.
Sweet chin, Joe.
Music, that's the one.
There's going to be one powerful super kick by Michaels. And there it is.
What?
Damn near knocked his fucking head off.
The Undertaker there, like you said,
He ain't getting up from there.
rocked. And Michaels,
Kicked out.
look at the fans loving it. They love the fact that he's got the streak. Why do they take it away from us? Well, this is without a doubt a classic. It was an instant classic at the time, and it's a classic now. And look at these two old gunslingers holding off the other one, trying to make their way back to the feet.
Big dog.
Oh, look at Undertaker with the punches. Michael's down to one knee, but back with a chop. Woo! Undertaker punch. Michael's chop. No. Michael's punch now, knocking Undertaker down to his feet. And Michaels might have the better exchange.
Oh, fuck!
I was wrong. Big boot by the dead man. Rolls Michaels over. And what else can these two WWE legends give each other? Undertaker going for the tombstone. Michaels reversing. Another chop.
Chop.
And look how red and swollen that chest is of Undertaker's. Undertaker managed to reverse him. Straight into the big boot. They've been battling each other for half hour now.
It's been a long, grueling match.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Michaels to the top. Going to go for the moonsault.
Oh!
Oh, Undertaker
Gets caught.
Tombstone.
catches him.
1, 2, 3.
That's got to be it now.
And can he pin him, the dead man? 1, 2, 3.
Boom.
Undertaker wins at WrestleMania. 17-0, the Undertaker is. That was a fan-picked moment.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, what do you think, yeah? Go on, tell us.
Well,
You missed it first time round. Tell us all.
Undertaker, I thought personally, if I didn't watch that, I would have thought Shawn Michaels would have won that match personally. Right. But yeah, it's a good little way they ended the match, to be quite honest. A lot of big bumps, both good in-ring ability.
Brilliantly worked match. Both men, even though they was towards the end of their careers, Michaels only had a year left on his, and Undertaker surely can't have much left on his. But after seeing what they had produced throughout their careers, and to still end both their careers on a match like they had, it was, you know, just a brilliant way to cap their careers. And if their careers ended after that, I'd be happy to say I see them.
No, fantastic effort by both men. All right, so what a match. I mean, I think everybody can agree. What a match, what a moment. Everything put together with the moonsault down into a tombstone and the Undertaker get the job done. The only botch, of course, was when the Undertaker landed on his head. And, of course, they blamed Snooker for that. But technically it wasn't his fault. Anyway, classified Chappie at stay_classy YT wants a few things. Has asked about a Goldust career perspective, Ric Flair's career, including TNA, Impact Wrestling, why wrestling refs are so important in the sport, favourite wrestling company of all time, local company, and mainstream is welcome work, and Paul Heyman's career appreciation. Now, Paul Heyman, talk about his career, would take me a couple of hours, and one day I'm definitely going to start looking at Paul Heyman, and I think even next year the WNR might get extreme when it comes to ECW. It's something that we have not seen a lot on the podcast, over 300 episodes, and it's something we want to see a lot more. There is no doubt Paul Heyman is a genius, and he's also a madman. And if you look at his career, where, you know, how he started off, it was kind of, it's the gift of the gab, so to speak, and just the kind of chutzpah to kind of get the stuff done, and he believed his own abilities. And you look at the creative in ECW in 1994, 1995, 1996, it was phenomenal. Look what he did with hiding the negatives and accentuating the positives. And even his work with Brock Lesnar and what he could do as a manager as well. It's just unbelievable. So Paul Heyman's no doubt in the forefront of our minds. As for Goldust, we have spoken about Goldust a lot. I mean, this man who, started off in WCW looking to be kind of the next big thing, so to speak. Didn't work out for him, getting fired from WCW and moving to WWF and becoming Goldust. And of course, the Goldust character is saying that is so memorable, and even now, 25 years later, he still get remembered. It's just unbelievable to think the success he's had, moving on to AEW against Cody Rhodes as well. It's been brilliant, you know, and there's definitely something that we will look at, because Goldust has had a few great matches as well, and you could argue some wrestlers maybe haven't had, you know, that standout moments. I think Goldust really has, especially with a match with Cody recently, showed how good he still is. As for Ric Flair's career, again, is something that we have to look at. I would always thought about doing a kind of history of professional wrestling chat, and Ric Flair would feature very heavily in the 80s. And again, it's something that we've not really looked at when you talk about Dusty Rhodes, baby, and all the others from that time. You know, even Nick Bockwinkel in the AWA, and Vern Gagne, and, you know, people like that we really haven't spoke about. It's something that I do want to look at. Ric Flair in TNA is something that, again, ruined the legacy a little bit, because after that moment at WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels and the 24, you thought, what a perfect moment to go out. But of course, Ric Flair being Ric Flair, and even now he's still, you know, being, and especially Impact Plus, how good it is. I think that's definitely something that we're going to look at. And of course, AJ Styles in his early career is all of, and even the show starting from 2002 in the Insane Asylum. I think, you know, is a really good thing. You talk about favourite wrestling of all time, favourite company, I think it's got to be WWE, because it builds it in at an early age. Your earliest childhood memories of wrestling is from the biggest promotion that you're seeing, and for me it was WWF, especially, you know, early 92 on Sky Sports, and you kind of had The Undertaker, and at that time Macho Man, and the larger than life characters kind of won you over, and I think it's been a favourite ever since. But yeah, I do love WCW as well, and what it kind of brought to it, especially in 1995 as being one of my favourite periods, because it's so kind of light-hearted. It doesn't take itself too serious, and I think that's one of the problems with Raw nowadays, is the fact, you know, we see it even with the poisoning of kind of the announcers saying this is terrible. And maybe they didn't attend to it tongue-in-cheek back in that time with WCW, but it worked, and I think that's what makes it so funny, especially when you kind of got, the Dungeon of Doom and everything like that. So I do love that time. And of course, ECW being Extreme. Recently, I think Impact, the legacy that it's done, we talk about Impact Plus, has been absolutely brilliant as well. When we talk about how much it's achieved, and even people like Drew McIntyre go in there. But I would probably say WWE of all time. Favourite local one had to be Rev Pro, where I know it's kind of soured since the Speaking Out movement, but I think to have that so local and to not realise at the time, who these guys would become, I think it makes it extra special. But one thing we're going to look at is why wrestling refs are so important in the sport. And if people don't know what referee's job actually entails, it's to kind of call a match along with the two wrestlers, and they take information from one competitor and then kind of pass it over. I mean, it all depends really, but they keep a track. They've got their earpiece in as well, so they kind of know when they need to kind of go home, so to speak, when to finish the match. And I think referee's role is really underrated. I think recent times, and especially in the Attitude Era with the ref bumps, it's kind of been forgotten about. When you look at the best referees, someone like Charles Robinson, you don't really see him in a match, and I think that's when they work best, because he's doing his job and making the match go along with the wrestlers, and you kind of don't really piece it together. But wrestling referees is definitely something that is vital to the sport. I think without them it would be different, because obviously no one wants to make the count, but also because of kind of what they bring to it as well. But I mean, excellent by like I say, Classified Chappie, brilliant comments about that as well, and like I said, hopefully go into more detail about that at some point down the line. So up next, Anonymous Boy at Eddie 002605556, easy to remember, says, "You're welcome. Watch Undertaker versus Triple H, end of an era." So here let's go to WrestleMania 28, April 1st, 2012. And in an end of an era match, Hell in a Cell, it's going to be Triple H versus The Undertaker. And let's have a look at the promo.
Every passing moment I have lived, the memory of the beating that I took at the hands of Triple H last year at WrestleMania. It has been hell.
You need a dark night for the dead man. Wait!
My victory over you means nothing.
Only one man walked out, and it was me. You won the battle, I won the war.
I will not let that be the image of me that is remembered through the ages. Give me my vengeance, and I will give you one more chance at immortality.
I know what I have to do to beat you. I have to finish you. I'm not going to do it. You know, Hunter, you know that you can't do what your buddy Shawn Michaels couldn't do. Because Shawn was always better than you. cell. I will beat Triple H in the cell. It's where I thrive. The streak will continue. It's where I learn what it takes to end another man's career. And I will officially end an era. You remember when I said Sean is better than you? He is. Ash to ash, dust to dust, face to facts, I hold the end of an era in the palm of my hand because I've been made the special referee.
Much as Sean's ego wants this to be about him, it's not. I am gonna end the Undertaker. I am gonna end the streak. I am gonna end an era. Everything I've been through, I've been for one moment. WrestleMania. Your mind, your body, your soul, all this. Are you willing to put it all on the line? I am. And I will.
And we've just seen the iconic entrances as well of The Undertaker and Triple H. And I mean, what a story this is. Like we said, WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels under absolute clinic, and then it ate away at Michaels to the previous year saying, I know I can beat you, Taker, at WrestleMania, putting his career on the line and still couldn't get the job done. I feel very underrated match. Obviously not good as a 25 effort, but I think 26 is still a brilliant match, and also positioned in the main event, which killed WrestleMania 25 because it was placed in the middle of that. And of course, the following year, Triple H, retribution for his friend, but also thinking he can get the job done. Of course, forgetting their WrestleMania 17 effort between the two, which was a fantastic match. Triple H brutalised The Undertaker, there's no doubt about that. Very physical as he put him through the announce table and a few pedigrees and a sledgehammer, of course. But The Undertaker getting the win, barely with the submission, but The Undertaker passing out and being taken away and carried out and looking like it might be the end. And of course, we've seen the reinvention of The Undertaker with a new haircut. Finally, the long hair's gone and he's kind of shaven-headed going against Triple H. And of course, the extra factor in this is Shawn Michaels being a special guest referee, and I think that's what makes it so interesting, because can Michaels, call it down the middle? Not only friends with Triple H due to Degeneration X, but of course everything that's happened since then, but of course the man who retired him, The Undertaker, would it work another way? Michaels wants Triple H to be beaten because he was beaten. I think that's an interesting question, and see both men going for it right at the beginning with huge right hands, and of course this is the PG era, so they've got to be careful what they can do. But I think they pulled it off quite well, even though it's really physical. And I think when you go and, of course, on Twitter we were talking about the last Friday, the Undertaker series, and how brutal these matches actually were. You know, when you talk about the sheer pain and physicality in this, you know, The Undertaker and Triple H, they were not holding back. They had to kind of prove themselves. And let's not forget, this WrestleMania was main evented by The Rock versus John Cena, which was at this point meant to be once in a lifetime. So these two guys had a lot to go on. And it's interesting as well when you think about the legacy of these two guys, and especially with Shawn Michaels as well. This is kind of end of an era. Nobody has kind of done it for that amount of time. And I know Triple H missed out on WrestleMania this year. I know The Undertaker has kind of said he's retired, but there's still a heavy reliance on these legends to come back. Whether it be a good or bad thing is, like I say, someone else's opinion. I don't really mind it because of what they've given to the business, unless there's a Saudi Arabia moment like against Goldberg, which is, you know, going to be a shame and dampens the legacy, like we were talking about with Ric Flair in TNA earlier. Well, these two men have been brutalising each other, using their cell as a weapon. We saw a big backdrop to Triple H on the outside, but the game managed to turn things around, brought the steel stairs in, and was going to look at a pedigree, The Undertaker onto him, but The Undertaker managing to backdrop him We've also seen some interaction between Michaels and The Undertaker as well. The Undertaker showing no respect. But Triple H has not lost a match that Triple H, special guest referee, and of course, 2 Against the Rock spring to mind on the very first episode of SmackDown. Shawn Michaels costing him. And of course, Judgment Day 2000, when none other than The Undertaker made his return as the American Badass. So a lot of history here. And like we said, The Rock's going to be in the main event. And The Undertaker is different from what he looked like last year. Even in the punishment given to Triple H. And he comes running in, but Triple H with a spine buster on those steel stairs. Huge impact there. And even Michaels winced a little bit. But Hell's Gating by The Undertaker's what won it last year. He's now got it in again. All sorts of trouble. But Triple H powers him up and power bombs him down to the canvas. Into the cover, but no, Undertaker with a shoulder up. And now the steel chair and bent around the back of the dead man. And now Triple H setting the stairs up in a corner. You can see Triple H busted above the eye there. As well, actually, that JR is on commentary. He's been put on there at the bequest of The Undertaker. And Triple H, I mean, there's a lot of respect there for what JR has actually done. And again, in Triple H with the chair, just absolutely assaulting The Undertaker. You can see the dent in the chair and the marks on the back. And even Shawn Michaels saying this is a bit too much. And we saw this at WrestleMania 27, and at 17 in a way, and how vicious Triple H is. And you can hear the crowd booing. I mean, I don't think anybody want The Undertaker's streak to end. And at this point, he's 19-0. But especially Triple H, And I think that was the thing when Brock Lesnar finally broke it. I think it's a shame, really, because like we talk about Goldberg's undefeated streak, was it the right man to do it? Did it really add anything to Brock? And did The Undertaker really need to lose? Is it something that could still be running to this day? Could he have got to 25-0? I'm sure Michael's checking on The Undertaker, and Triple H not having any of that. And again, 4 and 5 thunderous chest shots to the back. And Triple H shouting at Shawn Michaels, "You end it or I will." And it's clear as day, you can The Undertaker hear him say, "Don't stop it." It just shows you how tough the dead man is. Fans cheer as he gets to his feet, but the game's way there. Oh, right to the midsection, and again to the back. And that is sickening. Triple H into the cover. And this could be over. No, The Undertaker again getting the shoulder up. And frustration in Triple H's face. Wondering what's going to take to put the Phenom down. It's no surprise that he's gone through 19 WrestleManias unbeaten. You could argue, apart from CM Punk the following year, this is the last great Undertaker WrestleMania match. But with what he put his body through, there's no doubt you can see why. Triple H to the outside now. Triple H saying to Shawn, "End it or I will." Now he's looking underneath the apron. And we've seen this. Sledgehammer is one of Triple H's favourite weapon. It's what he's known for. Oh, Triple H said, "You want to show compassion? I'm not going to, Shawn. So you stop." With sledgehammer in hand. Undertaker slowly getting to his feet. And this could be the end. Michael saying, "Please let me ring the bell." The Undertaker saying, "No, let me fight." As he barely gets to his feet. Oh, sledgehammer shot to the face. Into the cover. Oh, The Undertaker somehow managing to get the shoulder up at 2. And I don't know how he managed to do that. The game can't believe it. And Shawn saying it's too much, but The Undertaker is still in this one. And now the game is going to swing his head. And Shawn stopping it in a few boos. Shawn getting rid of the weapon. And he's saying to Triple H, "Look, you're going to finish it. Don't finish it like that. The man's down anyway." And Shawn going to check on The Undertaker for the last. He's going to ring the bell. Now he's having second thoughts. And Undertaker with far away look in his eyes. But Michaels not calling for the bell. And what a way for the streak to end this way. Oh, wait a minute. Undertaker now. Hell's Gate into Michaels. And you wonder why it's for Michaels not stopping this matchup. And the game with a sledgehammer to the back of The Undertaker's head. Well, Michaels may be out, but now so is The Undertaker. And Triple H checking on his best friend. And now another sledgehammer shot, but no, the Undertaker goes low. And now Hell's Gate. And he's got the game, and this is what beat him last year. And Michaels is stirring as Triple H may be slowly fading. Triple H managed to turn the tide. Oh, he's got a sledgehammer in his hand. But no, Triple H can't fight it. And again, trying to alleviate some of the pressure, but the Undertaker now pushing down on his foot, which in turn, the back of the neck. And Triple H slowly fading. And you can hear the fans hoping this Taker with every last bit of strength. And Triple H may be out. And this buys the Undertaker time, but unfortunately all three men in the ring at this moment out on their feet. And here comes Charles Robinson. And Charles is in charge. And he's trying to open up the lock cell door. It's a shame Kane just can't come down. And the Undertaker now getting back to his feet. Charles is in there. Undertaker grabs Triple H round the throat. Choke slam. Into the cover. 1, 2. No. The game managing to kick out. Say it with me. And I have no idea how Triple H got out of that one. I don't think the Undertaker can even. You can see the marks on his back as he grabs Charles round the throat. Oh! And Mini Nate just got chokeslammed. Well, every man that enters that ring inside the cell gets destroyed. And no two men have had more history inside that Hell in a Cell than Triple H and the Undertaker. And now the Undertaker waiting for Triple H to slowly get back to his feet. Tombstone time. No, Triple H throws him into Michaels. Super kick. And now into Triple H. Pedigree. And this is it. 1, 2. No. And the fans genuinely thought it was going to be over there. And that is what you call a great near fall. Michaels can't believe it. He did it out of retaliation. It nearly cost the Undertaker the match. But the two best shots from Shawn Michaels and Triple H couldn't get the job done. The streak is still ongoing. What a match this is. And what's it going to take now for Triple H to break the streak of the Undertaker? Charles Robinson down. Triple H down. Shawn Michaels still down. And of course the Undertaker. Well, Shawn back up and stopping Triple H. Going near the Undertaker with a sledgehammer. Oh, and Triple H throwing Shawn Michaels out of the ring. Well, that just shows you what it means. Oh, the Undertaker sits up, scaring the game. And a huge big boot. And now right hand, the Undertaker's come alive. Huge rights in the corner. Irish Whip comes in like a freight train. Picks him up, looking for snake eyes. And now the huge big boot. And now leg drop by the Undertaker. How's he getting up? Picks Triple H up. Looking for the tombstone. Boom. Hits it. Shawn gets in position. 1, 2. No. And one of the first times. And we've already seen it a few times now. I mean, Michael's happened at Mania. It would happen a little bit later on. But this is one of the first times someone's kicked out of a tombstone. Say it with me. Unbelievable. Undertaker's got to spit coming down from his mouth as well. Couldn't believe. Michael's got his head in his hands. And the game bloodied and beaten. And it just sends the fans, as Pat Patterson would say, banana. And the Undertaker just grabbing hold of Triple H. Triple H still trying to fight off. And Michaels is seeing two of the very best. Now, two of his best friends. Two guys he's travelled down the road with. He's seen them kill each other here. And they're both on their knees for the rights. And as JR would say on commentary, this would be a slobber knocker. And every strike met by the sound of the fans. Triple H runs in. Undertaker looking for a pedigree. Reversed. And now Triple H with a pedigree. The Undertaker. Oh. Well, the Undertaker went for the tombstone. I got excited then. And was reversed into the pedigree by Triple H. But only a 2. And you can see the arena WrestleMania. Wow. Ever since COVID. I mean, look at this. Just a mass of people. And everyone glued into the action. Inside Hell in a Cell. I have no idea what's going to happen next. And I don't think none of it's Shawn Michaels. But the Undertaker sits up. How's he managed to do that? But the Undertaker's got a chair in his hands. Oh, and the Undertaker puts his foot on the sledgehammer, which caused so much damage. But so is the chair. The Undertaker now saying, not this time. Chair to the face and to the back. You talk about bending a steel chair. And the Undertaker now's taken it up next level. Midsection again. To the back. Oh my word. Now you take a chair to the back and you tell me that's not real. Now the Undertaker with a chair. One last knockout shot maybe to the game. No, shot to the midsection and another one to the back. This is too much. You can see Michael saying, come on now. But what each man will do to get a victory, Michael saying, just finish it. Undertaker in for a cover, but again can't put Triple H down. And Michael saying, come on now, both of you. But Triple H, even though he can't move the left-hand side of his body now, still with sledgehammer. And you talk about going out in your sword or going out in your sledgehammer. And even the Undertaker saying now, stay down. As if he's frustrated, he's going to have to put the final nail in the game's coffin. And Triple H went for the sledgehammer shot, but the Undertaker caught it. And a defiant push on the Undertaker. And the game won't give up. But he tells the dead man to suck it. Sledgehammer shot. Michaels knew what was coming. He's seen that before. And now the Undertaker looking to end it. We saw Michaels with the act of defiance at WrestleMania 26. And now the straps are down. He means business. Taker signals for the end. Picks up Triple H for the tombstone. And drops him. Crosses the arms. Michaels down for the cover. 1, 2, 3. And there you go. The Undertaker defeats Triple H in an end of an era. And what a matchup. What a matchup here at WrestleMania. It was absolutely brilliant. We've got to say, Anonymous Boy, thank you very much for that choice. 20-0, The Undertaker goes at WrestleMania. But the whole story between Michaels, Triple H, The Undertaker wrapped up within 4 Manias, finished then. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, people can say maybe this is the last great match of the two men. What a way to go out. And what a moment. And of course that's not it either, because at the end we see the respect from all 3 men. And walking up the apron you can see the marks. And as all 3 men hug each other at the top of the ramp. What a moment that is as well. End of an era. Undertaker, Triple H and Michaels. Alright, so up next we've got shout outs to our followers of the week who just want us to keep bringing the goods. Nick Hillsharma at IAM_the_genius. Amy Campbell at BabyZeekCam2. Eddie Dobler at EddieDemand71778. Tyler Wolfrick at TylerWolfrick319. James Pay at JamesPA84675787. James J at James_J416. Cassandra Denise Williams at Cassandra Denise. Lady Undertaker at K Behurt. At K Aberhurt even. Antbone at Antbone and 83. Austin at Austin 10013. And finally our last 2, we got Tam TM at THBKTAM. So thank you very much. It's so nice, you really appreciate it. Right at ya. And Jessir at Jessir37 said, this is cool. Thanks guys. What's the story about the WNR299? Now, like I say, I would want Dan here with me to explain this, but unfortunately you can't always get what you want. The story is, of course, we've had trouble this year, as you know, not with just COVID, but everything else. And as things happen, life changes and relationships start to happen, and people might start growing apart. And I think with Dan, definitely this year, there's been trouble just even trying to get the podcast recorded, which I can understand if you're busy. Like I said, there is no hard feelings. But therein lies the problem. We had to delay the anniversary show, which we did. And of course, other shows have always been a little bit behind as well. And with the 299, we had planned to meet up. Unfortunately, he didn't contact me or anything, so didn't know what to do. So that left it blank, because I didn't want to do a show kind of without him. Basically now, we wanted to do the 300 together. Again, he can't do that. And the problem is, with a podcast and the way it is, and of course my schedule coming up as well, you can't maybe always get 2 guys together at a certain time. So it's of course with a heavy heart that I'm going to say this, but, you know, things change. And I think this is the thing that we're seeing. You know, if this was WCW, as in, you know, we were losing money every year and just kind of tanking either creatively or with the fans, then yes, it would be a time to end it. But it feels more like ECW, where the fact is that the response that we've had on Twitter since WrestleMania has been phenomenal. We'd just like to thank every follower that we've had. Like we said, we're on a road to 8K, and by this episode today, we've had we've got 8,150 followers, which is just amazing. And the response and the people, like we said, with the listener's choice, people still are interested in hearing the WNR podcast. So, like I said, there are going to be changes, and unfortunately, Dan will not be co-hosting with me for the foreseeable future. Like I said, maybe down the line, if things can sort out for him. And of course, we'd love it if he would be able to appear. And it's the same with Dwayne and Jared as well. But like we said, worry. That might be the end of Dan, but it's not the end of the WNR, because we will start having now special guest co-hosts, and I've been really excited about this. And of course, next week we start off with Graps of Ras. They will be joining me here to talk about the thing we love the most, professional wrestling. We get someone else's take on it as well. And like we said, we love people's opinions as we get sent, and this is kind of what I had in mind. You know, this is to be the voice of the voiceless, you know, and this is the thing, we didn't do this for nothing. We're protecting a legacy with Dan and myself, and and what we're trying to do is creating legendary content and giving people a chance to actually say things that maybe they haven't got a platform to say. You know, not many podcasts have gone for 300 episodes, and we've got 8,000 people who listen to about 3,000 a week as well, and it's all thanks to you. And I will still keep doing this, and like we said, we're going to hopefully have different co-hosts. We're going to have maybe professional wrestlers even joining us as the year goes on, and of course checking in on everything that's still going on with WWE. There's no doubt we're still going to be covering WWE, AEW and NXT, but just in a different way, and it's really exciting times. You know, we're just going to say, like, if it wasn't for Dan, we probably wouldn't have got to this point now. You know, I needed someone next to me to kind of get through this, but what it's kind of done now, it's kind of given us a fresh life, and WNR does change, and we've done it since, and it's going to change now, but it's very, very exciting, and I cannot wait for actually it to start. You know, we're helping others build up, we're not going to knock anybody down, we're going to give people a chance to hear, you know, get their opinions across as well, and have some fun doing it, because the thing is, we love professional wrestling, and the interactions with Twitter as well has been fantastic. And don't forget, you know, I'm still at the WNRJR, and I'll be trying to answer everything as well at the WNR podcast. It is great times ahead. You know, like I said, anybody's got any questions, or anybody wants to, you know, if you're listening to this now and you're thinking, hang on a minute, I wouldn't mind co-hosting with the WNR podcast. Well, if you follow us, DM me, and if you have the right equipment and everything like that, it will be very, very interesting to hear from you as well. Like we said, we're open to offers. Like I said, we're going to help out a few people. Like I said, this is going to build towards the future now of what the WNR is. The only unfortunate thing, of course, about Dan is the predictions and everything else that we do, so we'll have to put everything on hold. But what we're going to do for SummerSlam is it's now going to be James versus fans. Yes, you have the chance to challenge me. We're going to guess the predictions together, and if you win, you'll get a massive shout out and maybe something special as well. Let's see if anybody can beat me, because I am the prediction king when it comes to the WNR podcast, and no one can beat me. So that is it, and I'd like to say to everybody, thank you for listening, thank you for following and supporting us for 5 years. It has been such an amazing journey, and it is going to continue, and like we said, we embrace change, and it should be really fun. Before we go, should say the follower of the week is Levi Merriweather at Merriweather Levi, and of course you'll have a chance to pick something for us to watch on the podcast. Our next episode is called Special Co-Host at Graps of Ras, and then in 2 weeks we're going to have at WSC Dub. We're going to have Bubba on, very controversial on Twitter. We're going to ask her, I'm going to ask a few questions. We're going to get into it as well. Like I said, it's very interesting times these next couple of weeks. And then with TakeOver and SummerSlam happening that weekend, we're going to try and work something out as well. But of course, follow us on social media. On Twitter at the WNR Podcast. I'm at the WNRJR. We're also on Facebook and Instagram across all the Google platforms. Send us an email at WNRpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on YouTube, the WNR Podcast, where we have all latest clips. Podcasts go up at the same time on YouTube. They do SoundCloud on your phone. Also Stitcher, Spreaker and iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. So that is it. Like I say, next week we start with a very special guest host. But until then, I have been James Rowlands, and I was always joined by Dan White. But you know now, it's time for a change. We really appreciate the support from the WNR1 to the WNR300. We hope it continues for many years to come. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.